We're gonna do a song that you never heard before. The volume.
Here they come, I get wicked. Here we go again.
Hey, it's Kennedy, my brother from another mother.
What's good, bro?
Hey, man. It is. I'm sitting here realizing, man, in a short 2 weeks time span since we bought, we've had a lot of stuff that didn't happen.
Yeah, we'll get into politics a little bit. The first thing I wanted to talk to you about was doggone Penguin.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll get into that and everything else after the music.
Let's do it.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
If you
of all
smell
time.
what the rock. It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
If you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook pages. We are live on both platforms at the same time. You click on the notification, click on the bell, hit the heads up whenever your boys is doing their thing. Hey, it's Kennedy.
So I got a random text from you last night. It would say, "Yo, oh, and FYI, it is spoilers. It is spoilers. If you ain't seen the Penguin, then you might want to just mute your stuff for a minute." I get a random text from you like, "Yo, why he killed Vic?" And it makes sense now because Vic saw him at his lowest moment, right? He saw when he was super vulnerable, crying and everything, and then Penguin just kind of realized, bro, like the last time I was in this position, they was able to get me when they had my mom. So that was my liability. But now that his mom is kind of like a vegetable, you know, the only family, as soon as Vic said we like family, he just was like, nah. And you just saw it was crazy because not only did he kill him, but then he robbed him. He took his money and rolled out. Like, I mean, what did you think? What did you think of the season? What did you think of finale?
And I'm gonna be honest with you though, bro. I hated that. I hated it because here's my thing about it. I thought that, when you think that if you get to a point where you gotta explain to the other people there, right, when the next season starts, where is Vic at? Because Vic kind of helped pull the people together, right? In his absence. So I understand completely that you want to get rid of all your weaknesses and everything like that. But you still got the girl who gave your location of that dropped the Addy basically. And so my thing is that people,
it ain't necessarily certain that he knows that she dropped the Addy though, because old girl never said I got your address from her.
and that's cool. I get that though. But I guess my thing also is that this. So she dropped the Addy, right? And your mom's still alive. So people know that your mom is still alive. So you still have weaknesses. It's not like he has none. And I guess to me, I would have thought that, okay, that because you're trying to build this empire on up, that you basically show loyalty to your people by displaying that, all right, no, Vic has been, by my side, has saved me 3 or 4 times now, right? And so I thought that I get that, you don't want to show no weaknesses or you don't want to be vulnerable, that he is your weak spot and everything like that. But I think at the same time, it's like, I look at that and say, do you want to basically tell, is hiding your weaknesses stronger than you basically displaying your loyalty or your affection of loyalty, your
Well,
emphasis of loyalty? That's
but
all.
that's the thing though. Throughout the entire season, right? His reputation is that he's not loyal. So it doesn't change anything. The other thing too, he traded that drug empire and trying to build stuff from the ground up for a position into politics. That's why he's not living in the spot where, he don't have an underground kingdom anymore. You know what I'm saying? They blew it up. So now he's in the penthouse. He's inside of politics. Like he made the deal with the devil when he gave up old girl and said no, she was the one that killed everybody. She was the mastermind. She did this. And you know what I'm saying? Once he gave her up, that put him in a different position. So now he's the penguin that we know, the top hat penguin, the penguin with the suits. Like this was all to, because remember, this Batman is year one Batman. So the villains are still figuring it out too, right? These is not the seasoned villains that we've seen. And so the next time we see Penguin, it should be in Batman 2. And he's gonna be in Batman 3 as well. So yeah, just I mean, but yeah. And this was listed as a limited series, so they haven't even announced whether there's gonna be a season 2, because I think the next one they're gonna do is the one about the Joker. So they are like just fleshing out this world. But it turned out to be such a great series, though. I mean,
It,
Mac,
it was great. It was great.
yeah,
I could have went without that, but it didn't take away from how great I thought the series was. Though.
yeah, yeah. A lot of people didn't like. I mean, a lot of people were. I mean, most of the people that I watched reviews for, that was the big thing that they commented on was, I cannot believe he killed Vic, and so, but it made sense. Like I said, the writer clearly had. She really had a direction. She really made him deranged at the end. You know what I'm saying, with the whole making old girl dress up like his mom, and like he was really infatuated with his mom. So they really took his character in a deep dark place, and they really was like, look, we don't want you rooting for this guy. Like, this is a villain. This ain't no anti-hero. He is a villain, and we wanted you to be, to know that he was ruthless, and he just, nobody couldn't get stepped on to get what he needed or what he wanted.
Don't think about it. It probably was one of the better series that I think I've watched in quite some time, though. So I loved it. I was totally
And
invested all the way through.
no Batman. The whole thing. No Batman.
Didn't need Batman at all.
No, didn't need him. I like they threw the bat symbol up at the end. I thought that was dope, but no Batman, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, this is little street level petty crimes. Batman ain't dealing with that stuff, you know what I'm saying? So it's cool. So now, like I said, going into Batman 2, if he's the main villain or whatever the case may be, it's just dope because you have fleshed out this character. There was at one time they did had an Arkham series within that same universe that they were supposed to do too. So ain't no telling what's gonna happen. But I know
Oh,
they
Pattinson
did.
still is the Batman.
You said what?
Pattinson is still the Batman.
Yeah. But see, it's gonna get confusing for people. It's gonna get confusing for people because this Penguin series is in Robert Pattinson's Batman narrative, right? But DC just rebooted the DCEU, like the DCU. So the dude who James Gunn, who was the guy who did all of the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff, right? He also did Peacemaker. He also did the latest Suicide Squad. He's over the DC now when it comes to so that's why, like, Henry Cavill's not Superman anymore. There's like, they're starting over basically, right? And so his new Superman, who's played by David Cornsweet, he's gonna be the new Superman coming up in 2025.
Who's Corn? So I never heard of David Cornsweet.
David Cornsweet, I'll show you him. But yeah. So yeah, the like I said, they are doing a brand new Superman, like everything's starting over. Everything's starting over. They are basically yeah, I'll show you the dude. But yeah. So it was super dope, man. Really, really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the new Superman.
Believable. Yeah. I can see it.
And
Not a bad choice.
let me see. Yeah, that's him.
It's not a bad choice. I don't like that particular S on his chest.
Well, that's the thing though. The S is that's the whole thing. It's not an S, right? It's a
Sure, I
symbol.
get it. But
And
still,
that's that and it's and that's the thing. They're going off of comic book stuff. Like, you know, that is a costume from a specific comic. And so, and even like they brought back the red underwear on the bottoms and everything like that. So and Crypto is gonna be in it too. The super dog. He's gonna be in it. So
what's that? The red underwear.
well, I couldn't think of anything else. The Underoos, I couldn't think of nothing else for it. You knew what I was talking about.
And did you let me speaking of other shows, did you catch up on Umbrella?
Nah, I still ain't caught up on the rest. So I'm trying to. I think I'm on the last episode. Or I'm okay. I don't know where I'm at, but I'm watching Supercell still. So
Okay. Supercell Stone.
I just got to the part where they finally kind of all got together. Like uh not when they were gonna, not when Lamar was about to go rob the spot and they were kind of just there. But this is where the people they were the future people was coming out of the portals and they all
Yeah,
kind of ended up being in the spot. That's the episode that I ended at. So I'm still trying to catch up on that. Like you said, I still got to finish Umbrella. Uh, so yeah, and then I finished Agatha, uh, which
I
that was
haven't watched Agatha yet.
no.
Haven't watched it yet.
Agatha ain't for you, bro. Agatha ain't for you. Ain't enough action. Ain't enough action. I wouldn't even want to hear your mouth talking about that every episode. Like, ain't enough action. So now
There's
Agatha
two
ain't for you.
series. So I was stuck on three series, right?
Yeah.
Penguin, Umbrella,
Hmm.
and Walking Dead, the Daryl Dixon, because now he linked back up with Carol. And so I'm about to that's the series that I'm looking to wrap on up to though. That's my that one is my A1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the man. So the doggone what is my doggone show? Yellowstone started back. I haven't seen the new episode because that's me and Sarah's show, and she's still in the spot. So we ain't got the chance to watch that. And I already seen somebody kind of spoil something. I'm like,
I've heard the spoilers on it.
yeah,
And what's crazy about it is that I saw an interview with Kevin Costner. They were asking, "What do you think about it?" He was like, "I didn't see it. I just heard about it." And it doesn't seem like that he's parting ways with the show on amicable terms. It seems
what?
like that there
No,
was
no, no,
some kind of issue.
no. Him and Tyler Sheridan had issues because he, so Kevin Costner did this project called Horizon, right? It bombed in the theater, bombed. I'm talking about, I think it made 14 million. Uh,
And Kevin Costner movies usually cost a lot because he's a very period specific and they're detailed, so they cost.
yeah. It didn't make much at the box office at all. And so the thing was they had four movies, right? Like he they shot the first one and released it. 6 months later, the second one was supposed to come in the theater. They were already shooting three, and then four is already written. Bro, they had to pump the brakes on all of that. And so what it is he wanted with Yellowstone, he wanted a smaller shoot window, right? I think they film a season for 3 months or something like that, but it's like they shoot 4 days and then they're off two or something like that. And he wanted to shoot just straight 5 days and be done or something like that. And him and Tyler Sheridan was bumping heads. And then of course there was, always the money talk. So it was a lot of stuff, bro. So the writing was on the wall. And so I could have predicted, even if somebody didn't tell me, that I thought that they would kill his character off, but I haven't seen it, so I don't know for sure. But like I said, somebody definitely did post RIP John Dutton. And I'm like, y'all some like give some people, come on, man. Like, yeah, that's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, but anyway, that's me and Sarah's show, and so I haven't had a chance to see it yet. So
I saw the first 2 seasons and inexplicably just haven't watched
Oh my god, bro, Yellowstone is hard, bro.
it. It's dope. It's dope. And listen, love every single thing about it. Just for some reason, just
But
no reason.
look, I came into Yellowstone late, but I did it. I watched 1883. I watched 1923. I've watched
Hmm.
I've watched all of Yellowstone, and I watched the lawman. I can't think of his name, but it's the black dude who's
Yeah.
yeah. I've watched. So I'm listen. Your boy is in the Yellowstone verse,
So
bro.
you might get your flannel and boots, get you a cowboy hat. You gonna be looking like one of the ranchers, huh?
I already got my Dutton. I already got my Dutton shirt, bro. I'm in there. I'm in that thing, bro. Uh, I love Beth. Beth is my bro. I love Beth, bro.
Yeah.
She a redhead too. So yeah, yeah,
I love that scene where they were attacking her, they were trying to kill her, and she got out of it with the help of what's called it.
yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was dope. Yeah. She real badass, man.
And all the girls love Rip, bro. All the girls love Rip.
Oh yeah. I like Rip though, man. Rip solid.
Yeah, yeah. I'm starting to hate the brother too, the dude from Hunger Games. I'm starting to hate him.
Yeah.
They've been treating
I
him
hated him
dirty
from
from
day
the
one.
jump.
Yeah, I hated him from day one though.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
NBA. What I mean, who's surprising you? Who's not surprising you? Like what's the word?
So Joel Embiid makes his debut tonight.
Mm-hmm.
That's still
What's he got?
surprising, right? That we 2 weeks into the season, he's just now playing.
Well, do you know why
Uh,
he's just now coming today?
well, I heard that he put them hands on, trying to put them hands on a reporter for writing
Yeah,
a story about his peoples,
about his dead brother.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah. See that's crazy because you can't play in my face like that. See, this is the one thing. Here's the one thing I think that I can respect, and this is one thing that I'm all about, especially these days. So, bro, I'm not gonna have you playing in my face, right, and not call you out on it. We go. If you gonna play in my face, we gonna do that dance all day long. So I like that he wrote that particular story, and not that he wrote the story, but that Joel Embiid knew about it. But how you gonna write the story and then be right in front of me like that, right? Like I don't know. And so I like for me, I don't have any problem at all with this response. And now if anything, Joel Embiid already said I probably won't play back-to-back games anyway. So you say you pro players sitting out, so I'm sure you were okay with him missing this one. Paul George also made his debut a couple of days ago, so I don't know. But
who's worse off
I'm,
out of
I'm
who's worse off out of 76ers and the Bucks? Which one of them is going to turn their season around first?
the 76ers.
That's what I told somebody today at work. I said, listen, the 76ers actually have a chance to turn it around because Embiid hasn't played yet. So it can't do nothing but, to me, I essentially get better. But Dame's over here with the protocol for concussion protocol. Y'all can't really do nothing player wise. Y'all still got, and of course, I know you hate Doc Rivers as a coach, so it's just like
I think that's everything. We can stop at Doc Rivers, bro. Because let me tell you, I say this all the time. I've never seen any one coach ride one championship longer than that. You know how many coaches have won one championship and have been fired, and you haven't seen them since then? Because you think about it, Bud Budenholzer, he's out there in Phoenix, but he's replacing Frankie Vogel, who also was at Phoenix, won one championship with the Lakers. And I don't think he may be not even on somebody's bench, right? But Doc Rivers, it's like the NBA will never give up on Doc Rivers. And I think that because they got Doc Rivers, though, I don't know. And then here's the thing about it. The problem that I have with the Bucks is even when you hire Doc Rivers, you fired your head coach after he was 31 and 13. He was like second place in your division. You fired him then.
yeah,
And so now you got Dame out there. And listen, with all things considered, Dame and Giannis are doing what they do. It's just for some reason they just don't have no team chemistry whatsoever. And I think that Chris Middleton still hasn't came back to shit. This one had like 2 ankle surgeries, and they just paid him. They extended him last year, or whatever, though, man. So I think that with all things considered, I think that Paul George is now the number 3 player on their team. And I think that that's solid. I like that Paul George being the number 3 is better than Chris Middleton at this point as the number 3. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. The
Now,
other big
now what?
surprise.
Let's
Go ahead.
talk about. No, what also is surprising to me. Um, what's surprising to me at this juncture is I think that I told you this off the block. I think if there was a most improved player,
Mhm.
I think it's going to be Ja Morant. Like, even though he's going to do what everybody expected, I just think, like, if there was a comeback player of the year, it got to be Ja Morant. I think that he's going to come back and show everybody. But the flip side to that, I always tie Ja Morant and Zion, like 1 and 2 because of the draft. And I was almost optimistic in Zion coming back, being injury free. And when he had just got injured again because of his hamstring, I said, "Oh my God,
And he lost a lot of weight too. That's what's crazy.
lost a lot of weight." Now
Now,
get this though, did you see when he had his baby? I don't know if it's his baby mom's, but he was supposed to be dating the girl Mariah Mills, the porn star chick. She was at the game with all them cakes out, though, boy.
I ain't see that.
Oh my gosh, bro. I think they broke up and she still popped up on him at the game, had all these cakes out.
Yeah, but Ja being hurt, man, it's starting to look bad, bro. Because he got hurt at the end of the last season. Now he hurt again. He's starting to be injury prone, bro.
I think he got time though, bro. I think he got time. I think that one of the things that I look at, it's not like Chris Middleton, right? It's not like Joel Embiid. He's so young, and I think that because of his position, I don't think that as long as he has his speed, I think that he's good to go though, bro. I'm gonna tell you this: the one thing that I am pleasantly surprised about, I am pleasantly surprised that the Lakers are truly going through Anthony Davis as the number 1 option,
Yeah.
right? And it's still like I still am blown away that the boy LeBron is still LeBron James. But I can appreciate that the Lakers are saying no. We are about win or lose. We are going to go through Anthony Davis, oh bro.
Well, the other thing is the accountability that's being held by JJ, because JJ will call you out. Like they asked him about D'Angelo Russell, like why he got pulled. He's like, listen, at that time we asked him to do certain things and he keeps reverting back to old habits. And at the end of the day, we gotta have the people in that's gonna help us with the best direction to win. So that boy,
I don't know why D'Angelo Russell plays so bad, bro. Like, he's good to me. He's good in the sense that he has good skills, right? But for some reason, though, bro, it's like his skills and his play just don't match, though, bro.
yeah.
So I don't know, man. But
Who else is? Go ahead.
I'm very surprised they're sticking with it, though.
What about Cleveland?
So this is the thing I think that's crazy. For all intents and purposes, right? They've been trying to get Cleveland to break up their team for the 2 years that Donovan Mitchell's been there, because they've been saying that the Darius Garland and him don't quite work because they're similar players. They've been trying to trade my boy from Texas for the longest, Allen. They've been trying to break up their team, and I think that they just needed to have more time together, though, man. So I'm glad that Cleveland that they're looking better. Donovan Mitchell looks healthy. Like when he started the season off and he was healthy and he was smacking last time, also. And I think he'll do the same thing though, man. But I'm curious to see how long they'll be able to ride this wave though, bro. I am.
Not only is he healthy though, but they don't have the contract thing hanging above them. You know what I'm saying? Like
True.
now the team is solid, but it almost feels like Golden State all over, right? Where you got Mark Jackson out of there and Steve Kerr comes and then they win a championship. Now, I'm not saying the Cavs are going to win a championship, but they definitely look a lot better and more cohesive now that Bickerstaff is gone.
Yo, and shout out to the homie Chris. I appreciate you. We appreciate you for tapping in on here though as well, though, man, for checking us all out live.
Yes, sir.
Um, no, I agree with you though, man. So this is the thing I think that I'm very interested because I'm like on a negative flip side because Zion isn't playing. It just completely changes everything that I think that the Pelicans were supposed to look like. And so this is the thing I think. So this is the wild part. I can actually see superstar players really getting up out of there. Like I can totally see Trey Young getting up out of Atlanta. I can totally see the Pelicans saying, you know what, I'm over Zion, bro. He's good, but he's not available. So I can see them trading him. You know what I can also see? I also see that Portland. I can totally see Portland basically saying, "That boy, Scoot Henderson, you need to hurry along. Scoot needs to hurry along because I'm not gonna lie. I thought Scoot Henderson was going to be way better than what he's playing right now.
Yeah, because
Like
right
he
now,
is, like,
ain't it Anthony Simon's team right
it's
now?
Anthony Simons. It's been Anthony Simons' team since Dame's gone. I think that they were okay with letting him leave, but now they're even considering letting him go. And I think that that's the guy that you gotta build it around, like build your team around. I think that Anthony Simons could be like an all-star level player, though, bro. Um, listen, I'm very surprised with Scoot Henderson. I thought that Scoot was like gonna come in and really be like a Russell 2.0 or a Derrick Rose kind of player. And what I find to be interesting about him, right, is that he's not as explosive as I thought he was. Like I thought that Scoot was going to be like one of them, like Russell. Russell still can get buckets by sheer athleticism. So never mind the jump shot and all the other stuff that people say about Russ. Russ is a superior athlete and can still out athleticism the next player, right? To get buckets. I thought Scoot was like that. And I'm just wondering if he's not.
Okay, last question from the NBA side. Which team has looked which team has benefited the most from trades? Like with Cat going to New York, with DeMar DeRozan going to the Kings, and then of course PG going to the 76ers. And I don't know the rest, but just off the top,
Yeah.
what you got?
If I had to call it, bro,
Or Clay in Dallas, my bad.
if I had to call it, I would probably say long term, for the season anyway. Later on through the season, I'm gonna say the Kings, bro. And the reason why I'm gonna say the Kings is this, though. I thought that the Kings were pretty good enough, but I think that the problem was is that they were like they had a Harrison Barnes, right? When they needed a DeMar DeRozan, right? Like at the end of the day, I think that they still needed somebody like De'Aaron Fox can get a bucket. And Malik Monk can get a bucket, but Malik Monk usually comes off the bench, and Harrison Barnes will start. I think that you still needed that guy who was a bucket and not necessarily just a 3-point shooter. So I think that DeMar DeRozan was exactly what they needed. So because of that, it's the perfect fit. I think that don't get me wrong. I think that Klay Thompson was exactly what the Mavs needed. It's still it's something about Luka, bro. I'm not all in on Luka yet, and I don't know why.
It just feels like Luka's always hurt, bro.
It's not that I don't think that they said he's always hurt. I think that I don't know what it is. I know that listen, I know that he's good. I just for something like when I see people say, "Oh, Luka's going to be the MVP of this season," and I just don't
Bro,
like. I just don't.
Luka has turned into your new Tony Parker, bro.
No, because I actually like him. Like I know that I like him more than Tony. Like Tony Parker.
Okay, then he's your new James Harden then.
Maybe.
Because you like
Maybe
James
so.
Harden, but it's just something that just makes you cringe.
You know what makes me? I know what it is. I know what it is. What makes me cringe? I cringe at one-way players. You know what I'm saying? Oh, so what? A two-way player? I absolutely cringe at one-way players. And the reason why I cringe at one-way players is because that means that you're literally only playing half of the game. Like basketball is 100%. And so you're saying you only play half of the game. And as a fan of just the art of basketball, it makes me cringe at guys who are labeled superstars that are one-way players. And I still only consider him a one-way player. That's why it made me cringe at James Harden. So that's probably why it's probably the closest comp to it is James Harden. So that would be a fair.
All right. Moving on because we got so much to talk about. NCAA. Our boys is now at number 3, which I'm glad we're not number 1. I don't want to be number 1. But what was the biggest surprise this weekend?
Gotta be Georgia. Gotta be Georgia. And listen, I got I'm in Georgia country, in SEC country, and I had a lot of people who called me up right after we lost to Georgia. We did. But everybody said that was the best that Georgia has played all season long. They've never been able to put together 2 good halves or sustain any half or any play of any kind like they did. And so when they played against Florida immediately after us, it felt like they low-key had like the Super Bowl hangover, right? Where teams would get to the Super Bowl maybe once or twice, and they just can't quite get it together the second go around. And when I watched them, they just didn't look like they looked very beatable. They looked very lethargic. And that was the Florida game, right? So then when I saw them actually lose the following week, I wasn't surprised. I think that real dog fans wasn't surprised. And I'm going to tell you what is very surprising to me. What's very surprising to me is how bad Carson Beck is playing quarterback, bro. Because I heard a lot of chatter going into this season that some people had Carson Beck as the number 1 quarterback for prospect. Before Shedeur Sanders, and Kim Ward, he came on, right? But I think that some people had them 3 as them guys. And some people favorite Beck. And I'm just blown away at how often he's turning the ball over. He got a lot of interceptions, though, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, we got Georgia losing, we had Miami losing, and we also had LSU getting dog walked. I think all of those things were pretty big stories for the week. I couldn't believe
agree.
it.
And listen, Miami has been playing every game that they played has been close. And Cam Ward has been pulling them out of it at the end. And I think at some point you just can't win like that.
Right. Couldn't believe Oklahoma gave it away at the end like that. I was like, oh, wow.
Hey, listen, man. Oklahoma almost makes Texas and Oklahoma going to the SEC look bad. Because I think that people thought Texas was going to play like Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that people in the SEC was hoping that Texas was going to be just like Oklahoma, so that when we pull it up on the block, they would be like, oh, that worked in the Big 12. That ain't going to work out here, right? And maybe it's just this season, because anybody in the SEC can be anybody on any given Saturday, right? But I think that the part that in this climate, right, where everybody, I can't tell that if the SEC is down or if it's just more competitive, so much so that everybody can beat everybody. But I love that Texas fits right in, but that people thought that we would look like Oklahoma. I know they thought we would look like Oklahoma.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't get me wrong, we still got 2 rivalry games. We got Arkansas coming up, and we got A&M coming up. So, with them,
I hope we dog walk Arkansas, bro.
I mean, I hope so.
But Arkansas whipped us last year.
See, I don't even remember that.
Oh yeah, they put up like 40 on us, bro.
Last year? Wait a minute, I thought we went.
Yeah.
I thought we only lost 1 to Oklahoma, bro.
Nah. I think that they good.
Nah,
It was either that year or the year before that. But listen,
it had
Arkansas.
to be
I
the year
remember with
before
them.
that. Our record
I know
last
the
year, we only
U.S.
lost one. We only lost to Oklahoma. That's how we made it to the college championship.
Let me see something, bro. It was 20. It was 2 years ago.
Okay, I'm about to
And
say,
them boys, and them boys, this was our second game of the season. Them boys beat us 40-20, and they beat us bad too.
yeah. What you thinking about Colorado, bro? What you think their chances are of winning the Big 12?
Listen, I don't see how you not favor them, right? So I think that Utah obviously is the more experienced team, right? And so it kind of tells me that you would like to think that Utah would out experience them at some point, though, man. But I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed that I'm very impressed with the number of games. These 7 games, they're bowl eligible, right? And the boys haven't won this many games in quite some time, though. So I think that the fact that they're even in contention for the Big 12 title is something. But let alone them being bowl eligible, though, man. I mean,
Yeah,
that's a lot of progress, though.
but the thing though with the Big 12, I mean, because shoot, you look at Oklahoma State, them boys look like boo boo the fool.
Pitiful, pitiful.
The Big 12 just looks crazy this year, bro.
Right, listen, Rocky out here rolling over his grave.
Not you just killed our boy.
Rocky rolling over his grave.
Like, dang, bro. Oh, you handed y'all the keys when they left. Y'all boys done wrecked. Y'all boys done wrecked the ship, bro.
I'm gonna chop this up just for him to see this daggum in this, though, bro. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what the Big 12 though, but I think they have just as good of a chance as any team to win though. So shout out to them because they turned it around pretty fast though, man.
Yeah, they did. They did, especially because first couple of games they looked like they did last year, and something clicked for them, and I'm glad it did. So yeah, shouts out to them. What you
Yeah,
got, bro?
yeah. Listen, let's see here. NFL. Let me tell you how fast things go. The last time we met on this here platform, your team was riding a 3-4 game win streak. They done gave up.
Yeah.
They done gave up a Hail Mary and ain't scored a touchdown since.
Yeah, bro. Somebody talked.
What in the world is going on with Caleb Williams?
Coach Parcells talked about. Well, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't watched a game from Chicago since before the Washington game. Like I saw the Hail Mary in highlights, so I can't even tell you what's going on. Like from fresh eyes to say, oh, it's this or it's that. But Coach Parcells was the one that said I've seen teams die after a Hail Mary play like that, and he is not wrong thus far because we have been looking like Triz Ash. So
let me tell you what I've seen, and I've seen every game. I don't know how, but they always pop up, and maybe because maybe because he's the number one pick. They had these pre-scheduled games, and he would always be on TV. I'm gonna tell you this. So we had the concern previously, right, that when they had Justin Fields, they didn't address the line, so
right.
Justin Fields was always running for his life.
Yeah.
Right. The difference, I think, is that Caleb Williams is also running for his life. The only difference is Justin Fields was running ahead, right? He's like, I'm getting these yards, I'm out of here. Caleb is running around with the intent of still throwing the ball, right? So it's hot potato every time. And he's taking a bunch of sacks. I saw one game, he got sacked 9 times, bro. And of those 9, 6 of them were on his own. Like 6 of them was him holding the ball way too long. Now, part of that tells me that he's been so good for so long that he's been so much better than everybody that he's playing with that he has supreme confidence in his arm and his abilities that if you just I can keep it alive, and boom. But every game that I watched, these boys have been in 3rd and 15, 3rd and 20s, 3rd and 25s, and he is holding on to the ball way too long. This is one of the things that concerns me, though, bro. It's because I honestly believe, bro, that his team, his wide receivers don't really rock with him, bro. I don't see that they run their routes hard for him, dog. I saw one play where DJ Moore just ran out of bounds, gave up, when it's set down. While he's still listen. Caleb Williams is running around looking. DJ Moore sitting on the bench, ran off the sideline, sat on the bench. I don't see that Keenan Allen runs hard, that nobody gets open for him. And I think that he, to me, is deflating to the offensive players that I don't think that they play hard for him, bro. I don't. And so I think that this team is currently constructed. I think it's a losing team. And they were winning, but even when they were winning, it wasn't because they were throwing a bunch of deep plays. It was a lot of tight end catches and everything like that. But man, I can't. He looks bad, but it's because he's holding the ball way too long, though.
Well, I know they are definitely not happy with the direction of the offensive coordinator. So, they got a lot of stuff to address, and I said that from the beginning. So, no surprise.
Didn't they fire the offensive coordinator?
So I don't, like I said, I haven't been following up on the Bear. I know there's a bunch of people that got fired, and I know they recently said that Caleb is still going to be quarterback number 1. I saw that, but I don't know the details on who got fired or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I'm 95% sure that they fired the offensive coordinator, though, man.
Yeah.
And listen, I think that it's mind blowing that they fired him, and Dallas still hasn't fired their offensive coordinator. And I guess they can't because Mike McCarthy is the one that's calling the plays, so, bro.
Yeah, but Dallas got so many other issues outside of that. Like, that's why I didn't even bring them up, because it's like it ain't even fun no more. Like,
what makes Caleb look so bad outside of him being the number 1 pick is how good Jaden Daniels is playing.
Yeah,
and I think that
also went to a more complete team. Let's not act like that wasn't the case.
No.
Yes,
they wasn't. No, they wasn't.
Yes, they were. Listen. Washington has not had a good quarterback in a long time. They done went through RG3. They done went through Colt McCoy. They done went through Fitzpatrick. They done went through Henny. They have not had a good quarterback while still trying to, they have had teams that could do stuff out before he came.
Listen, their team, I'm going to tell you this. Their roster was comparable to the Bears roster on day 1. The only difference to me is that their line was slightly better. But here's why I tell you that. Let me tell you, but here's where I think that. So you got to think, though, right? They basically traded to the Bears their best defensive player, right? So let's say defense. Let's just say offense. Let's talk about just offense, right? Y'all got Jonathan Brooks from not Jonathan Brooks, but y'all got my boy from Texas, right? At running back, y'all have 2 Pro Bowl wide receivers. Y'all got Komet, who I believe made the Pro Bowl at tight end. So y'all have weapons on offense, right? It's the line heavy. I think that the Commanders have a very good wide receiver in McLaren. They have a decent running back. They have a decent number 2 wide receiver. But I think that the Bears roster was comparable.
Charles,
I think it's the quarterback play.
Listen, we've said this. You just got done saying it yourself, right?
It's the line, though.
It is the line. Like, it does. This is what I'm saying. We have talked about this, but go away from this pod. Go back several pods, or even last year when we talk about the Bears. They have always been filling these positions like what receiver and running back. And I'm like, but what about the line? It doesn't matter that you got all these skilled receivers and skilled players when you have no time to do nothing with the ball. So what I'm saying
But
is,
listen, but here's my thing about it. It would help. It would help if he didn't hold the ball as long. Like,
Charles,
listen, if you're not listen. The difference is this. Justin Fields, they didn't give him enough time, so he took off. Caleb, still not giving him enough time, but he's still trying to make something out of nothing.
I
And I
understand,
think that he needs to just get rid of the ball.
it's true, but you just gave two different scenarios of two different styles of play, and neither one of them worked because of the original problem is the line. So what I'm saying is,
Jaden Daniels is getting rid of that ball.
Understand, but by default, him having a better line is giving him a better opportunity. That's all I'm saying. I think if you switch them, Jaden Daniels would be having just as much issues over there. That because it doesn't matter who's behind center. If we cannot protect the person, they're gonna be running for their life. It's end of the story. It doesn't matter.
I understand. I understand what you're saying, and what you're saying makes sense. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Jaden Daniels on your team makes your team look better than what it does. Even with the line, listen. Even with the line, I think that Jaden. And here's the reason why. Let me say the reason why. Right? It's because you know how Justin Fields, if you ain't gonna block for me, I'll tuck it and run. Jaden Daniels will tuck it and run. The difference, I think, also, right, is that Jaden Daniels is more accurate than Justin Fields and will take off and run it like Justin Fields. So until you start to build your line, I think that Jaden Daniels would make y'all look better. And I think that he throws more accurately than both Justin Fields and Caleb Williams, so he would be getting your wide receivers more involved. I think that he would be a better fit.
You could put Patrick Mahomes behind our center, and he would be having the same problems.
I don't know, man. Pat Mahomes seems like he the cheat code, bro.
What else we got?
Oh man. Since we've been gone, let's switch it real quick. Young Thug free. They went ahead and he agreed to some charges, but 15 years probation though, bro. That's a lot of time. It's almost like they banking for him to mess up one time though, bro.
Yeah. Did you see the tweet that got deleted about Gunner where he said he ain't rocking with him?
Yeah, I don't. He posted it. Yeah. I'm sure.
I didn't know if it was somebody, like if it was AI or if it was real.
No, that was real. But I would be listen. I would feel like some kind of fool to believe that they hadn't already had some kind of conversation, whatever. I don't believe that's the case though.
I mean,
I still believe that Gunner did and agreed to whatever Thug and all them people basically told him to. I think that's the only reason why he out. He just leave it on me.
I don't know. I wasn't a part of none of their conversation, so I can't call it. But at the end of the day, I'm happy he's home. Hate that he even had to agree to certain things that he had to. It should have just been a mistrial at this point. But he's home. He's with his family. He said he's going to change. He is going to be allowed to travel, but he got to get prior approval first, and he's not allowed to hang out in Atlanta. Like, he's got to come, do something in Atlanta, and leave. He's not allowed to stay in Atlanta.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me ask you. So that's big news. The other big news since we've been gone, election. Donald Trump elected 47. Here's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
What are we doing about that?
Nothing. We're not doing anything. There's nothing to do. The thing is that the people voted. That's what they wanted. And so, I've had so many different conversations about it. And, of course, people gonna have the blame game on why the Dems lost this, that, and the other. And, forget all of that. The thing is that I didn't think that she had as much time as she should have had in the beginning. One of the concerns I told you about, because I'm not even fixing to blame the Dems for this, but I will say one of the conversations that we had and that I said on the pod, I said the only problem I have with this is because this is gonna count as her shot, right? So the Dems is gonna be like, well, they didn't want you, and this was her shot. You gave her a half a stick and was like, you got 100 days to make it turn around, right? And they did the best that they thought they could, whatever. So aside from that, the people though are the ones that voted for this man to be back. So there's nothing we can do but a sit. I am basically about to sit here with my popcorn, bro, because for all the people that had something to say and for all the people that swear this man is the answer to everything, I'm about to sit back and watch. And I get to complain about it because I ain't vote for him. So, but people that didn't vote at all, I ain't trying to hear nothing. But if anything, and I'm talking
Marky Flocko.
right, and if well, he still gets blamed too because even though he didn't vote, he had a big enough platform and said what he wanted his followers to do, right? You still are responsible for stuff. So that like that's a cop out too. Um, but my thing is that if anything does happen that man said he was going to do, and if it does happen, everybody who voted for him is to blame. And everybody that chose not to vote, they are to blame. And I've told you off mic, and I'll say it publicly now. Um, and I blame anybody that voted for him. Anybody that voted for him. If you are a lifelong Republican that you just, oh, I just want to vote for my party, it's your fault. If you voted for him for any reason at all, it's your fault. You know what I'm saying? The lifelong Republicans don't get no bail because you voting against your party does not take you away from being in your party. It doesn't work like that. So I'm disappointed with black men. I'm disappointed with black women. Anybody of a different race than Caucasian that voted for him, I'm disappointed with because it's just
Why
like,
no? Wait. Why aren't you disappointed with the people from the Caucasus Mountains?
because I mean it's just like let's just keep it a buck, right? If Obama was running, I'm voting for Obama just because he's black, right? I don't care what the policies are. I'm rocking with Obama, right? And for reasons, right? First black president in history, like that's just what it is. So, right. So I just know off the rip, right? There's gonna just be some white people that's just gonna vote for him because of the fact that man is a white man that's running. Okay.
So you think that some people didn't vote for Kamala because she's black?
Yes, absolutely. Because she's black and because she's a woman. 100%. 100%.
Okay.
That was exactly why some people didn't vote for her. I mean, that's just that we might not be where we were, but we still ain't made it out of racism yet, right? And then I mean, let's keep it all the way funky, right? There are certain people who, even when it comes to, they bring religion into politics. And so for religious beliefs, they're like, no, a woman should not be running the country. Just like certain religions, women should not be pastors and preachers. That's a true statement. So she had so many things against her. And like I said, for whatever reason that people voted for him, if anything happens, it's their fault. Anybody that voted for him. And that's just what it is.
Let me tell you my problem. My problem here, it always will go back to Barack Obama for me, right? So for me, right, the last time that I saw a Republican candidate where I was like, oh, you know what, I can see why Republicans rock with him real heavy, right, was John McCain. Right, when John McCain ran against Barack Obama, I thought to myself, I said, wow, this man is considered to be an American hero. He was a war veteran. He was prisoner for X number of years, came back. He served his country, came back, and now he's a politician. That it made sense to me as a Republican. If that American hero to you supports the traditional American values, the conservative American values, that made sense to me, right? After having him serve in the military for so long, he then went and served his country to represent it in government. I can appreciate on some level somebody who's dedicated their life to public service, right?
Mm-hmm.
But even with that being said, right, I thought that Barack Obama, they didn't have nothing on him except the fact that he was black, right? And so my thing is that like this is the way I look at it, right? Like to some people, like I'm always gonna defend Barack Obama. Right? I'm a Barack Obama guy. I'm a Barack Obama supporter. Barack Obama is my cup of tea. But I'm not gonna forget that some of y'all voted against him and voted for Mitt Romney. Right? Like John McCain was one thing. Mitt Romney is a different thing. Now, mind you, Mitt Romney again, successful, big, super millionaire, whatever. But you can't tell me that if you tell me, well, he was just ahead of the party. But then fast forward, you go and say, well, Trump is the guy. And the problem, and not even the problem, where I think that I'll never agree with a Trump supporter is how extreme. Because the same way how I look at Barack Obama, that's how they look at Donald Trump. And I understand that. But our reasons are so far different. But the extreme and the concentration of how much they support him is the same and equal. And so for that reason, I'm looking at that and I just sit there and think, I've never been able to have someone explain to me what is their infatuation, what they love about him so much, though, right?
I've had somebody explain it to me, but it's not the same way, right? You know, it's like if I say, well, he did this, they will come back, well, she did this, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's not equal, right?
It's the goalpost. You always move the goalpost for him.
100%.
Like, I think that.
Go ahead.
I think the thing that always gives me the most about Donald Trump is none of the argument, to your point, none of the argument applies to him. So if you say she's not qualified, is he really? If you say that, oh, he's a business guy, is he really a business guy, or does he know how to manipulate the laws to do this, that, and the other? Like, was he really as successful when people say, well, I'm about his policies? They don't know what specific policies, right? They got those talking points, right? We have concepts of things. So it's like that's the thing about it to me. It's like there's nothing tangible, right, when it comes to him that I understand. So because of that, it doesn't resonate. Here's one of the things that I do that I am kind of that I wonder, right? So let's just say you got 4 years down. He can't run no more, right? So my thing is, what happens to the MAGA folks now that MAGA's no longer a not a threat to run, but does his cosign to the next Republican mean something? Because his base, I suppose, will always be his base. So does it say, well, Donald Trump cosigns you, so my base also will support you? Or does his base then become maybe it's only the extreme supporters, right? That are the red hats, right? I wonder, like, what do y'all do when he's no longer around? Because he's going to be like 80 something years old. So the same things you have to say about Joe Biden are going to apply to him, though, right?
Not really, because they're going to look at his competency. Like, for whatever reason, they feel he's competent enough to do, like, because he can get up there and riff and do his swerve and all the things that he does. That's what, and like you said, at the end of the day, once it's done, it's just the cosign. Whoever and for them, JD is who they are grooming. So if he decides to run next time, that's who they go. It's just that.
Most Republicans that I know never even heard of JD Vance until 3 months ago. Right? So that's the thing I think that's crazy. Yeah, but here's the thing I think that's also the reason why I bring that up is because, again, Barack Obama, right? So my thing is this. You had all of these people, the Tea Party folks, right? The Sarah Palins of the world and all these other people, right? That were very heavily involved with the Tea Party. And the Tea Party, their whole goal was to be so anti-Barack Obama, to overthrow everything he did, to kill everything he did. It was all fabricated specifically for Barack Obama, right? Barack Obama gets elected, and then all those people ran, the Tea Party people ran and were reelected, all under the premise that they would undo everything that he would do. So in the process of that, here comes Donald Trump. He hijacks the Republican Party because he was never heavily affiliated with Republicans that I'm aware of, and I could be wrong. So here it is. He comes to, and now the MAGA folks take over. So now that the Tea Party folks convert over to MAGA, and then so it's like, well, now that if MAGA's gone, does the MAGA folks go back and Tea Party? Because I think the thing that gets me the most is when you brought up that you wasn't as concerned about when the white people, it was the minorities. Where I agree with you on that. My reasons for not, I just fully expect that. All right, hey, the same way how 95% of all black women voted for Kamala Harris, another black woman, or voted for Donald Trump. I just naturally, I just expect for white people who are the majority to vote for the white candidate. Like it's just
100%.
if
Like
race,
it
if
just
all things are equal,
yeah.
if all things are equal, the same resume, and it's unfortunate. I just expect for white people who are Republicans, they're going to vote for their guy, right? Um, but I think that the part that gets me the most is that the Latinos got me.
It's the
Got
Latino
me
men.
completely.
Latino
The
men.
Latino men, but even the Latino women, some of them got me. And like and listen, that's not necessarily my community because the Latinos that I know aren't Republicans. So I'm saying, but when I look at the demographics of the voting, and I don't understand their infatuation. And here's my assumption. I think that the Latinos that identify as Republicans don't think that the Republican Party view them the way that we think that they view them, right? Like, I don't think that Republicans view them differently. I don't think that Republicans view Latinos as one of us. Like, y'all are one of us. Just the same way I don't think that the Republican Party personally views their black members as one of us, right? Because you have more than just Tim Scott as the lone black Republican senator if they did. It's cool for you to vote for us, but I think that for some reason, and I would be wrong in saying that, but I just don't think that the Latinos that vote Republican think that Republicans view them as inclusive. I don't. It's just my thought though. So that's why I would never understand it.
I mean, I don't even care about the psyche behind it or anything. Like I said what I said. If you voted for him, if anything happened, it's on you. So when this mass deportation thing goes off, when they get rid of the Department of Education, all the thing, everything that he said he was gonna do, when the stuff starts happening, I'm gonna be eating my popcorn.
They already stated. I think that they're already starting a lot of this. And so it's going to be interesting though, man. It is going to be interesting though. So yeah, I'm reading this thing, and I don't think that that's going to happen. Listen, I think that this is the thing that's just crazy. Like I understand that
No,
that's
I think he's saying that's what.
possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a possibility, but I'd like to think that our country is a democracy, and that the democracy, the Republicans wouldn't allow for something like that to happen.
You would think, right? But that's again, people didn't read all of Project 2025.
By
And
the time something like that would happen, Donald Trump would be like 90 years old.
I understand that, but the other thing that he also threatened to do was that once you vote this time, that's it. You ain't got to vote no more. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we say all these things aren't possible, but there are, like, the Republicans won the majority of everything this time. So a lot of the hurdles that we weren't able to go through, it's gonna be different this time. Like it's a
Well,
lot
let me
of
tell you this. Let me tell you this. We talk about the voting because this is the conspiracy. You know what I mean? When it comes about conspiracies, right? So the conspiracy is this. So you saw Donald Trump in his last few before the vote, before the elections happened. He was telling his people, "You ain't got to vote for me. I already got enough votes, right? Yeah, we already got the secret already. We got this vote." So this is the one thing that's kind of interesting, and all the swing states, right? So the swing states previously he lost out on, and that's how he lost the election, right? But this time around, when they went through and they examined some of the votes, so in North Carolina, for example, right? On the ballots, they had almost all of the Democratic spots for senators, other key spots were Democrats, and they all won their election, right? It was just on the presidency that they didn't. So you had a lot of people who what they want people to believe is that there was a big number of people in North Carolina who went and voted Democratic all the way down the ticket, except for president. They picked Donald Trump, right? Then you also have a big population in states like Pennsylvania, states like Wisconsin, where people didn't do any other local election. All they did is just went through and voted just for president, Donald Trump, and nothing else. So what it looks like almost is if they introduced some kind of box into it where it's like a fixed vote. So it's almost like, now here's the thing I think is crazy, right? Because I think if this information came out, and let's say if Trump lost this, right, he would be the first one to be pointing this stuff out and say the election was rigged, right? If you have in states where if you go down the ticket, you mean to tell me that there were that many Democratic voters that said, "Oh, we like all of our local people, but we don't like the Democrat for president." Like that just doesn't seem very believable to me, though, right? This doesn't. So I don't know.
Yeah, but like I said, at the end of the day, unless some proof comes out that there was some conspiracy or whatever, he won. And once I had my initial disappointment when I woke up the next morning and saw it, then I just was like, all right, this is what y'all wanted. And sometimes you got to give people what they want.
Gotta do what they want, huh?
Give people what they want. You asked for it, you kept campaigning for it, now you got elected. So,
and all the black men that I know that was pro-Trump, I ain't gonna never forget that, bro. I know who all y'all is.
Yep.
I ain't gonna never forget y'all for that, bro. Never.
Nah. Look, bro.
I'm gonna go ahead and listen. And that's not to play the race card on any other thing. I'm talking to people who look like me that voted for him or that supported him. Now, if you voted for him, that means you're a supporter. Don't try to say you're not a supporter because you voted for him.
Yep.
You're a Trump supporter.
If you voted for him for any reason, you're a supporter. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. You voted for him, you supporting him. Period. There's ain't nothing on the other side of that. You either all in or you all ain't. And you all in. You voted for him.
Yeah. Supporter. I ain't gonna never forget that.
Yeah. Anyway, man, listen. We are the Slash Brothers. That's Charlie Venus. I'm Ace Kennedy, all the way from ATL to OKC. We are the Slash Brothers. Thank y'all for joining us. For everybody that watches on the playback, listen to us on any podcasting app that you use. We appreciate you, and we out.
Peace.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
Can you dig it, sucker?